Hi Gemini, this is your year-long reading for 2017. Let's get straight to it. First card for January for you comes up as the Seven of Rods. Seven of Rods would represent, as you can see the card in the thumbnail, it is at the top of the year. It represents defending your position. And so January will be a time where you step out and decide that it is your time. You're standing at the top of the hill, and anyone who tries to take your position on the top of the hill will be given notice. And that is what we see with this card. I see you putting people on notice. And why is that? Because perhaps in the year of 2016, you were not treated as fairly or as well as you would have liked to have been treated. Now, Gemini, you've got a little bit of a chip on your shoulder in the new year. But then again, sometimes we need to learn from the past mistakes, past relationships that perhaps haven't served us as well as they should have. Maybe we're putting other people's needs in front of ours, or have in the past year. And so this year you're on guard and actually on your tiptoes, ready to face whatever problem comes your way. I also see you making plans. And that means that you're planning your next move. And this is a fire sign. This is a wand. This is also the seven. The seven is a very good number because you're coming into a time of peace and completion, which would be the eight. Now, the eight will give you, and you're moving toward that, a lot of energy, and you're moving toward communication and moving out of position into the world. If that makes sense to you, I'm going to let that one fly. But I do see in January that you're making plans and that you're finding out that all of your past work, even though you may not have thought it would serve you, actually is going to serve you, and you're going to go out into the world, use everything that you've gained, all the knowledge that you have, and you're going to use what you have learned to put yourself in an even better position, and we'll find out as we read for the rest of the year, into 2017. So this is a very good card. You're in charge. You start out with your senses fully alert, and that's what I see here. Now, we read for love, and I am known as the love lady. So again, in love, this card would tell me that you're not quite ready to make the next move, but you're getting there. And that would mean eight, the arrows of love are about to fly, and that would be the Eight of Wands. So you're moving toward the Eight of Wands, and Spirit and your guides would tell you that you may want to think about letting your guard down just a little bit. You are really trying to make everything right now work in your favor, in the best possible way that you can. However, you need to communicate out as well how you feel. And what, this for Gemini is actually, I have to say, your sweet spot. And so let the guard down just a little bit, Gemini, and communicate your true feelings. Again, if you are a Gemini sign, Gemini rising, Gemini moon, this all would apply to you, but let your guard down just a little bit and communicate. Write a letter in January to your loved ones or your special person and let them know how you feel. And that's a great way to begin the year. What do we have for February? Oh, yes. Ace of Pentacles. Couldn't be any better. And Ace of Pentacles is money. Interestingly enough, in the month of February, it could mean that you're going to get a tax refund. And of course, that makes sense for a lot of us now, doesn't it? It can also mean that there is something coming your way. That can be an offer, a new job. If you're looking for a job, you may have applied in the past for, I'm hearing, a multitude of jobs, and suddenly that job market opens up and you're offered a job or an opportunity that's even better than what you had envisioned in 2016. Again, if you are starting the year out with your guard up, I do see that that will serve you because you are defending your position, or if you have attained a certain level of success in your life, that is going to pay off your, how should I say it, certifications, training, status, anything that you have acquired along the way that would set you apart within your vocation. All of these things will come to fruition in February. Fruition meaning that is going to pay off for you in a big way. I'm also even hearing cha-ching, so that could mean that at the register, there's a cash register that will be cha-chinging, and that's a very nice sound to hear when you may have been struggling actually in 2016, and the jobs are coming in, the offers are there, the doors are opening. I'm hearing a lot of that for you. Also, I'm hearing that for some of you, cash comes from nowhere, and that can mean someone somewhere is thinking of you and has been thinking of you, and they want to offer you assistance, help, and support. Now, in love, going back again to that 7 that opens the year, this can mean that you've got your guard up, and again, Spirit is giving you a bit of counsel and asking you, Gemini, to perhaps let that guard down just a little bit, communicate out in a written format. That is what I'm hearing. Longhand, perhaps, a written card. Put your thoughts on paper, because this will result in assistance, and someone is going to want to help you. This could be an earth sign, this could be a Capricorn, a Virgo, or a Taurus. Somebody is going to come to you and support you and your efforts, and you're going to say, wow, thank you, Trudy, for telling me to reach out, because look at the payoff. Next in line, what do we have? And we're getting a lot of pentacles. And again, I am seeing a really awesome year for you. Spring is going to be great. We have the 8 of Pentacles showing up for you. And this card is pointing us in the direction of focus. Again, focus opens the year, standing on our tippy toes and making sure that everything we touch is within our purview, and that's what I'm hearing. And so I'm going to let that go, but everything that we touch, we own. And you're going to take ownership in the spring of your career moving forward. And so I'm also seeing possibly learning new things, because the 8 of Pentacles will allow you to, it's a great card, but because it allows you to focus. And as a Gemini, you like to dance, do the 360 all the way around an issue. And so if you have an issue with your career, with your relationship, you're going to actually have the focus to plan and work toward the next step that you must take to create success throughout the year. Now, this is March, and the Ides of March is what I'm hearing. And so, what does that mean? Well, that's a message straight from Spirit to you. And if that makes any sense, that's terrific. Again, Eight of Pentacles in March tells us that you are going to be head down. You are going to be intensely focused, looking at the details of your life, your career, your relationship. And it's on the heels of that windfall, that bonus, that help that is coming in February. And so whatever that is, you will be intensely focused on making more of that. Now, if you're moving toward higher education, you're continuing your education, this would make a lot of sense because you would actually start a program. You would perhaps get the financial aid that you are looking for in February. And then in March, you're going to be head down, working and learning because you want to. And that's the other wonderful thing about this card. The 8 is about desire. And this is something that you have been wanting to do for a long time. Now, you may actually be creating something, and you may be creating a craft, a project, an art project. I see in like ceramics for some of you. For some of you, you'll be actually creating a new workflow, if that makes sense. But this is something that you are doing for yourself, and it's actually been financed in the month of February. And so if you have wanted to pursue another certification, vocation, higher education, then this is the year to step toward that and reach out and let the people in your life who love you support you, and communicate out that you would like that for them to support you, and that is how you will start the year. Again, March is all about you. It's all about you doing things that make you feel accomplished. You creating a work project, an art project, even doing something that you've always wanted to do but never really have been able to because you didn't have the wherewithal financially to do that thing. Now you're going to have that financial help. In love, this just tells me that you're working on relationship and it's worthwhile. And if you are, for a lot of you, you might be working on a love relationship that is finally practical. If you've been supporting someone, or if you've had to defend yourself within relationship in the past, this is the year to let your guard down, open the year that way, and let someone in. Someone wants to come in and help, and allow that to occur, because that's going to give you the financial footing and security that you need to move forward and pursue your heart's desire. March is going to be a very, very busy month as well. I want to say, and that's coming last. That's the last thing that I'm hearing. You will be very busy in March with work. Gemini, you are going to have a fabulous, fabulous year. In April, what do we have? We have the Page of Cups. And what is this? This can mean that there is a new baby coming for some of you. That's the first thing that I see here a new baby, the announcement of a new baby. This can also just mean that a child in your life has calmed down, and this would be a child who is either a Scorpio, a Pisces, or a Cancer. This child is actually coming to you in a loving way, and they're creating something to give to you, and that's really sweet because April is, April flowers. I kind of see that. It's like a bouquet coming your way. Now, again, this can mean messaging. Pages are messengers. And so there could be a proposal coming your way in April. If you're looking for love, if you've let your guard down and somebody has your back at the beginning of the year, again, this could be a surprise for some of you. This feels as if it's coming out of nowhere. The first thing that they offer you is support. This person, this other half, this partner, this loved one. And then in April, they ask you to commit. And so, boy, and it's in a very sweet, sentimental, naive kind of way. And it's really touching, and you're going to feel wonderful. In relationship, you are having a great year all the way through the spring. Couldn't be any better. If you're already married, your partner will support you, or you have the wherewithal to create a foundation in the relationship this spring that will allow both you and your partner to enjoy the benefits of the relationship. And I'm also hearing that there's a lot of communication that can happen if you do let your guard down and you do allow the other person to see you with all of your faults and dings and dents. This person's going to actually love that, even though you may feel as if they will leave. They are not going to leave. They're going to offer support. Or the support will come, and you're going to be working hard on the relationship because you're able to. And so there's kind of this time out feeling that's coming in the spring for love, and there's a settling here with this Page of Cups, just like this moment in April where the two of you are almost on a honeymoon, and the sweet sentiments flow, which can mean there are a lot of sweet texts back and forth, even letter writing, picture taking. There's a lot of bonding going on in April, and so that covers love for April. Now in April, I want to mention that also if you're looking for a job, and have been in 2016, you want to relocate, you want to re-educate, and we've already talked about that. Those offers will come in February, and the result of your hard work, as you get down to it, will be a promotion possibly, or it can even just mean that in April you'll be recognized. And so that's, message. Sometimes we're just as happy to get an atta-girl or an atta-boy as we are promotion. But I do see that coming. You're recognized. It's a sweet personal recognition. It's not company-wide, but it's just someone who you admire coming to you and complimenting you on your work product. Now, if you have your own company, or if you are creating something, this also points to the fact that you are being appreciated, which is beautiful, and we all want to be appreciated. And so, again, April is the month of appreciation. Wow. Okay, Gem, I have to say I'm happy about this reading. Next card to come up is the Magician. Now we have a major arcana card coming up for you for your birthday, and that's awesome. For our gems who are end of May, mid-May, end of May, and I am actually end of May. And so this reading is wonderful. Now, the Magician is about manifestation. And if you have been concerned about taking the next step in your life, do not worry in January. Go ahead and communicate out exactly how you feel. Communicate out your plan, your next move. And it's fine and it's great to stand on your toes in January, but the next step is to actually communicate out. Let that rod go. That's what I'm hearing. This seven, and you can see it, he's like in this defensive posture. In order to let in the help that is about to come your way, the practical help, you're going to have to let your guard down. You're going to have to let people see you this year. And when they do, you're going to, well, it's funny because once you let your guard down, you're going to be able to step forward in your life. And I'm hearing that that is an important piece for Gemini this year to actualize. And so what does that mean? It's time for you to become the leader, the goaltender, the creator, the person that others aspire to become. And how do you do this? Yes, there's a bit of magic involved. And, you know, when we see the Magician, it is about becoming a lightning rod. What is above, so is below. And I know you've heard that before. And so you are electric in May, and you're going to light up the room. And Gemini is about to turn on the lights, which, it's funny, I am hearing electricity and lighting up a project. And it's almost like you're flipping a switch and the lights come on and you can hear the engines whirring and it's working. It's going to be really fun because all of the preparation, and you're working very hard again and in a focused way, but all of the preparation has been sort of distracting. So you're working on these projects, and I'm hearing January, February, March, okay? You're working on these projects, you're getting this funded, you're starting the new job, you're actually surprised that this is all coming together. And when it does, like the big surprise is when you flip on the switch and boom, there it is. And so what does that mean? That means that if you're looking for love, it's magic, and you're astounded, and the two of you are a couple and everything's working and you've got all the tools and you can make it happen. And I guess the operative word here is it's actually working. You're going to feel as if there's magic all around you in the month of May. You can't touch anything without turning it to gold. And I love that because sometimes we feel as if all of our efforts are for naught. But 2017 is a magical year, a special year for you. Also, great year to manifest financially. And the two of you, if you're in relationship, will be manifesting financially. You may be moving, actually. Again, I'm seeing that eight of rods. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And so there's a lot of movement forward happening in the year of 2017 for you in a major way, especially in the month of May. It really begins to take hold and all of the preparation begins to gel and create magic. April, oh, what do we have? Okay. Well, this is actually June, I'm sorry. In June, we have the world. And so there is some kind of graduation that's happening for you. And that is really what I think of when I see the world card. That is the first thing that comes up. It's like it's the next step. And so everything that you have worked toward in 2016 and in the spring of 2017, moving into the end of the spring and into the summer, we have this cycle that's been fulfilled. And so you're going to enter a new era, so to speak. And so everything that's going on for you, 2016, 2017 comes to a head, and you're able to either graduate or take something to the next level. Now, when I see this card, I also think that there's a lot of change. There's so much change going on because this is the last card in the Fool's Journey, which would be all 22 cards of the major arcana. So this is 21, the Fool is 0, pure possibility. And if you look at the world, you will see that it is also, there's a wreath around this woman, which is also a 0. And so you're leaving an era and entering into a new one. A completely new cycle of life is about to begin for you, and you're going to see that everything that you've done so far in 2017 will result in sort of, you're catapulted out into this new space. It's like kind of like a lunar launch almost. You're launched out into space, and you are a brand new person. Now, I also am hearing that there could be, again, a baby born, and that is in June. For some of you, you will be actually giving birth, perhaps, in June. And you may be having twins, I'm hearing, which is kind of interesting because you're a Gemini. So twins comes up for me, and that may be someone in your life who is a twin, who is going to become important, or you are, you hear there is an announcement that this birth will be twins. It's kind of coming up. I don't know why. But so June for you will become a very pivotal month. It's going to be memorable even. And so if you're working on a new business and you're taking something to the next level, which I see that happening with this Magician card, you flip on the lights and this business takes off right away and allows you to explore. I'm hearing that some of you will be able to work from wherever you would like to work. It's a whole new world. And again, July, we have another fabulous card, Temperance. And so 3 major arcana cards are coming up for you: May, June, and July. All major arcana cards. May starting with the Magician, and it is our birthday. And then we have the World, which is another superb major arcana card, followed by Temperance in July. Temperance is always about patience. It's always about staying in the middle. This card points to the golden mean. Also was called the Art card, which means you will be making things, creating things. And sometimes this means that you're creating something out of nothing even, and have been creating something out of nothing through pure will and determination. And that determination begins at the beginning of the year. And it begins by allowing others to see us as we really are, and maybe to study ourselves and assess our skills and our personalities and sort of play to our strengths, I guess, is what I'm hearing. Once we play to our strengths, we will find support, and this will crystallize for you in June and July. This support is going to allow you to create something magical, and you're going to have the patience and the wherewithal to do it. And so, but there's a lot of major karma going on here, and really this karma is all happening for you starting on your birthday. And so it begins in May, and this good news, whatever this good news is, this Page of Cups, it becomes this fabulous creation. And now if you are in relationship or looking for relationship, this reading, if you were to take this from the angle of love, this reading is telling us that the two of you together are not only going to make some magic, but you're going to enter, both of you, into a new time period, a new era, a new sense of who you are individually and as a couple. And the world is at your feet, the two of you. And so you're making magic, and you're also transforming your environment, or the environment around you, the environment around others. People are drawn to the two of you. They feel great when they're around you because you're able to transform the energy of a place into something that's magical. And if there have been issues in the past and you're already in relationship, you're about to enter the golden era. And that's what I really want to say. This is the golden era for Gemini. July is going to be fabulous. You also may in July just be taking some time out, the two of you, and I'm hearing a vacation by the water. And if you look at the angel, he has 1 foot on the water and 1 foot on the ground. And so you may actually be vacationing seaside somewhere, and this is pretty exotic wherever it is. It's calm, and I'm also hearing that some of you may be doing a bit of nude sunbathing, which could be fun in July. Again, here we go. Oh my gosh, we have another excellent card. Again, 4 of Wands. Some of you may be getting married, and that is going to come up in August, surprisingly enough. Or you may be moving. And when you do move, it's going to be great. You're going to love it. Wherever you land, you're going to feel at home. You're going to be happy. Backing up to that World card that comes straight on the heels of the Magician in May. Some of you, yes, may be moving. There might be a promotion here. I see that happening for you also. That promotion would begin at the beginning of the year, and you prove yourself, and by the end of the year, you're actually relocating in August. And I see that coming up for some of you. And in love, you could be entering a golden era of peace, tranquility, mediumship, I'm even hearing for some of you. You're able to psychically get one another, and there is also this movement away from strong drink, addiction, any of that. There's this magic that happens, and if there's been any of that happening in your life or someone else's, you two balance one another, and so you're going to be able to move forward in your life in a really fantastic way in August. Also, you might be competing and finding I'm hearing this in sports and health, finding some solidarity with your partner, and also feeling as if you've entered this time of peace, joy, health, tranquility. It's really great. So, this is the first challenging card that we've had for you, Gemini, for the year of 2017, and it happens in September. Not a bad card. It is another 8. It's the 8 of Swords, and so there is a situation. You're feeling a little bit stuck. Some of the negative thought patterns, perhaps, that have been laid down in the past come back to haunt you, and this is from 2016 energy, because I haven't seen any of this stuff going on in 2017 except for perhaps January, where you're feeling as if someone's gonna creep in and take your place. So you have to compete, you have to defend, you have to make sure that you don't lose any ground, and you're alert and aware, and that happens in January. But September, some of this stuff is coming back a little bit. You're questioning, doubting whether or not you've made the right move, which, you're moving so quickly that it's not surprising that you might take a couple of steps backward. So your spirit guides are telling you that in the month of September, you could benefit from some positive thinking, motivational thinking, even maybe taking a class, evaluating your mindset from the past. Now, this is the past. This is not anything that's going on in your life in 2017. This is stuff that could hold you back if it's not addressed. Everything's been so positive throughout the year that this creeps out of nowhere in September. These thought patterns that aren't serving you, once again, are served up. And so you're going to have to maybe even do a little bit of counseling. Seek out a professional, someone who can take the blinders off so that you can move or graduate to the full realization of your new place, new environment. You might have moved, you might have relocated, you might be in an entirely new relationship, in an entirely new place, an entirely new job, and it freaks you out a little bit in September. But you are free to enjoy and explore and really recreate yourself. You are free to do so. And so this card always speaks to self-imprisonment, and just, you can enjoy your life. You shouldn't feel bad about enjoying your new life. You shouldn't feel sorry for other people. You shouldn't reevaluate the past. None of that is going to serve you. And gossip also will not serve you. Those who are reaching out to you in September, trying to pull you back into their drama, will not serve you. Your own thought pattern about how to approach past situations will not serve you. You're an entirely new person, and so you've got to come at things from an entirely new position. And in order to do that, you're going to have to take a good look in the mirror, see where you are, see who you are, accept all of this wonderful success that's occurred throughout the year, all of this help, support, and love that's been poured out to you, and accept it and embrace it and allow yourself to become this foci for the rest of the people who are in your life, a positive source of energy. October, what do we have? Oh, wow. Okay, this is interesting. So the end of the year really is about self-evaluation and reevaluating the past, because we've got the Four of Swords. And that's really a good card, actually. And so in October, Geminis are in need of a bit of a time out. And again, we did have the 8, which speaks to Stockholm Syndrome, self-imprisonment, negative thoughts that have been laid out through past relationships, past work situations, even our, just from childhood, people telling us that we're not good enough, that we can't do it, or we've watched situations where people have failed and told ourselves that, hey, why should we be successful when all of these other people have not been successful? Well, you have persevered and survived. And so you can reevaluate, meditate, take time out, maybe take a mini vacation, take a mental break, really, is what Spirit is saying in October. Take a break from the past. And maybe that break is even physical. Again, getting your head into a better space is what Spirit advises you for October. And so, again, you're probably listening to this reading in January or February. Please reevaluate the reading toward the end of the year, because that's where all of the big work for you is going to be done. And again, you're an air sign, and this is a sword, and this is the card of the intellect, and you're an intellectual, you're logical, you're witty, you are tons of fun, you're a communicator. October is a great time to sit back, actually lay down, perhaps, close your eyes, and maybe do some guided visualization meditation and allow yourself to uncover some of these things, some of these root causes for this negative self-talk. That could happen through counseling once again. This could happen through just listening to maybe a self-guided past life regression YouTube video. It can also mean that you go back to the root of the cause, even physically, so that you can see it. And I'm hearing that loud and clear for a lot of you. You may have to revisit the actual physical location. Now, again, dream work could be very positive and good for you. And the best way to deal with your mind sometimes is by intending before you go to bed to remember your dreams, write them down immediately, and evaluate them later on in the day. Because really, when we're dreaming, it's a snapshot of our psyche. It's an x-ray of the psyche and what is going on. And so some of this stuff that is popping up in September, these head games, these thought patterns that you're suddenly becoming aware of in October, can be pulled out at the root. And you're going to greatly benefit from that. Your partner's going to benefit from that. The people at work are going to benefit from that. October is the month of Zen, okay? Also, if you've been in relationships in the past and you've had terrible things happen, divorce, someone's been actually violent with you perhaps, someone has died in your life, you've experienced real trauma, real pain, even if you've had a health issue in the past that you've been moping around about, and not even moping around about, but in the back of your mind you feel that this health issue is holding you back. October is a great month to deal with any of that type of thinking, and also to deal with it physically. Do something about it is what I'm hearing, and move on. Okay, November. We've got a great card. I really do like this card. It's Major Arcana. It's the Moon. And so, yeah, the year ends with a little bit of negative self-talk that you are working on. And you are maybe a bit of a Debbie Downer. in October, you're feeling down, someone around you has brought it to your attention that this stuff is coming from you. You're working on it in November, and you're working on it maybe even in counseling. Now, the moon has also to do with cycles and feminine cycles, feminine energy, hormones, anything that would have to do with childbirth, menses, and sometimes, menopause. Now, I have to say, men kind of go through menopause too. So if you're a man, this applies to you as well. You could be feeling a little blue in November at the end of the year. But this is also a card that speaks to intuition and psychic ability. And so if that's your game and that's where you play, Gemini, November will be a very, very strong psychic month for you, and a great way actually to end the year. There may in November be a situation that presents itself sort of out of the blue, and you're dealing with this individually or by yourself. And I do see that you're around a lot of people in the spring and in the summer, but it feels a little more solitary in the winter months for you. There's a lot of self-reflection going on. There's a lot of inner work happening. And in November, you're pulling back. And again, I'm hearing that if you're feeling sorry for yourself in the fall or coming into the winter months, or you have seasonal affective disorder, do something about it, because you can greatly improve your mood by taking some action, which is kind of the opposite of how I would normally read this. But these three cards together tell me that reflecting upon the past is going to allow you to take action toward the end of the year. And then the last card that we have in December for you is the Two of Pentacles. And so the year ends on a practical note. You're going to be juggling two things, two relationships, two jobs toward the end of the year. You're going to be juggling kids. You're going to be juggling opportunities. You're going to be trying to decide also which way to go, because two opportunities will arise, and you're going to have to think about that and how that will affect you moving into the future, how that will affect your relationships. You may actually need to decide whether or not you're going to move, and or you may need to live in two places by the end of the year, or someone in your life may need to live in two different places. But it's a really good card because it means that whatever you're doing is about to split and become, it's multiplying. And it's not December, excuse me, December ends on a kind of a fun note and a playful note. The year is going to end with you kind of showing off a little bit, doing a little happy dance, and that's coming on the heels of the moon. So you just pop right out of whatever kind of reverie has been happening for you in the winter, and you're going to start the new year, 2018, if you can believe that, on two boats, and I am hearing that. So Gemini, you're really good at juggling a couple of things, and so that's nothing new for you. But again, you're going to have two opportunities, two things happening, and you're trying to decide where to put the energy, which requires more energy. So that's your reading. I think it's a really awesome, beautiful reading, and you're going to have a wonderful, wonderful spring, and great inner reflection coming in the winter months. So please, thank you so much for listening. But please, if you would, go and review your rising sign and your moon sign. For love, especially your moon sign, career, your rising sign. And again, these readings are covering a lot of different areas, and so you may find that if you're looking for answers within love, the moon is really going to get to it. So I do want to stop just for a second and add an overview for those who are looking for love, because I know a lot of people listen to my readings for love specifically. And I do want to say that Spirit is saying in the beginning of the year, please let those around you see you as you are. And do not become hyper defensive, because you're actually quite spectacular, Gemini, and especially moving toward the spring and the summer, you're going to bloom and blossom. And so have the confidence to let your guard down, let your hair down, not to worry so much about how you appear to others, even your appearance. Don't worry about that, because if you let your guard down and you let other people see you as you are, maybe with your hair in a knot on top of your head, or, if you haven't shaved for a couple of days, I mean, people are going to find that kind of adorable and just zip through the spring, because once you run out into the world is going to pay attention. And those people who see you as you truly are going to fall all over you, more or less. And you're going to become, I see in the summertime, you're going to become a very enchanting person. And because of that, there will be a relationship, and the relationship, it will test you. This relationship will have you questioning yourself, moving into the winter months. However, that self-reflection will pay off, and you're going to have a lot of fun in December. You might even have two relationships going on at the same time, or you may be juggling two locations. But I do see a relationship coming for you, and it's certainly going to come in the summer months and could pay off in marriage, a marriage proposal, or living together. And that's going to happen for you in September, around that time period. It could happen a little bit earlier even. So there is a marriage proposal or an offer to live together, the opportunity to live together. It's all coming together for you. So have fun, and thank you so much. And please listen to the other signs that would be appropriate for your chart. Blessings.